On Monday, while meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Donald Trump and Starmer decided to, take questions from the audience. Obviously, it's a big deal. President of the United States, Prime Minister of the UK. A lot of things happening. We got the EU trade deal that, by the way, screws American consumers tremendously. But reporters have questions, and Donald Trump loves talking to the press because every time he does, he gets his name in the headlines. So Trump and Starmer start taking questions, and out of nowhere, Donald Trump just decides to let his brain go on vacation, and he went on an incoherent diatribe about how his wife, the First Lady of the United States with no legislative power at all, somehow sponsored a bill in Congress that got passed, and now we can protect children. Only one of those three things is accurate, and that is, Congress passed a bill, but Melania didn't put it forward, and it's not necessarily about children, it's about everybody. So I guess by extension, sure, children are covered, but here is Donald Trump showing the world his completely broken brain. Take a look.
I don't see that as a free speech issue. I see that as a child protection issue.
We actually passed a bill in Congress, headed up by my wife, actually, which was to pull bad stuff out having to do with children, because it is a problem. But I cannot imagine him censoring Truth Social. That's more of a very political, and it's been a very big success.
Not going to happen.
And I only say good things about him and his country, so they say to me, you're making a mistake. I'm going to give my ambassador the job, make sure it's not censored. I had not.
All right, so he says the bill was headed up by his wife, Melania, First Lady of the United States. It's part of her, anti-cyberbullying thing. Well, here's the thing. No, she didn't. She had nothing to do with this legislation. Oh, and by the way, Donald, you just signed this a month and a half ago. It's called the Take It Down Act. And it was passed by both the House and the Senate with broad bipartisan support. You signed it. You should know what it's called. You haven't signed a ton of bills. I know you've signed a lot of executive orders, but you haven't signed very many bills because not a lot of things are getting passed. And this was one of the few things that both the left and the right agreed on was actually a good thing. And instead of giving credit to Congress for finally working together, you're like, my wife did this. I know she has no power and she doesn't even know what's in the bill, but she did it. It's all her. She's great. She hates me, but she's great. No, that is not the chain of events that happened here, buddy. And for the record, the Take It Down Act, as you said, pull bad stuff out of having to do with children. Again, I guess obviously children are covered by this, but the Take It Down Act, of course, refers to revenge porn. It stiffens the penalties, it broadens the definition, and it allows victims to, of course, be able to get justice. It's a good bill. It's a much needed bill, but it's not specifically about pulling bad stuff out of children. And I'm sorry, but that's what he said. We got to pull the bad stuff out of the children. This man's brain is like, it's not even mashed potatoes, as I usually say. It's just gone. It's gone. It went on vacation and it never came back. It's floating around in the ocean, living its best life while he is piloting a bag of meat around without a brain. And he did this in front of the UK Prime Minister, talked about pulling bad stuff out of the children. This is the man with his finger on the nuclear button. This is the man who, of course, unfortunately represents what the United States is. And if he represents what we are, then we are a bunch of dementia-riddled people that look like we wandered off from the nursing home. Because that's what Trump looked like on that global stage by talking about pulling the bad stuff from having out of the children, I guess. Whatever the weird thing is he said that made no sense, giving credit to a person, his wife, who deserves no credit whatsoever. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.